OK, very good morning. Welcome to the Football Show. Let's start with some big breaking news this Monday morning. And we have just heard in the last couple of seconds that Southampton have parted company with Ralph Hasenhuttl. He has left the club with immediate effect. The story had been brewing for quite some time, but it has just been confirmed in the past couple of moments that Ralph Hasenhuttl has left Southampton. Obviously, that disappointing defeat against Newcastle yesterday, and Southampton reacting in the last couple of moments. They were beaten 4-1 at home by Newcastle, weren't they, yesterday? And his time on the south coast with Southampton is at an end. Sue Smith, Stephen Warnock with me this morning. Let's get your immediate reaction to that. Stephen, let's come to you first of all.
I think, to be honest with you, I think there's been a lot of talk in the last couple of weeks about the potential of him leaving. Would it be before the World Cup, or would it be just after the end of the season, or the break in the season, to go to the World Cup? I think it's an important time to do it, because it gives a new manager the opportunity to come in, work with players who aren't going to be at the World Cup, assess the ones that are, see what he needs to achieve, and get the balance right within the squad. I think the big thing for me was a lot of the signings that were made in the summer was almost, they were preparing themselves for the next 2 years of football. And it was always going to be a difficult season this year, with youngsters coming in and trying to gain experience within the Premier League, which is always difficult to do. But you're judged on results at the end of the day, and you're judged on where you sit and how you're playing. And I think there's not really been strides made over the last, well, certainly towards the latter end of last season and the start of this season.
18th in the Premier League. I mean, there's always a straw that breaks the camel's back, wasn't it? But was it that 4-1 defeat to Newcastle yesterday? And actually, the way Newcastle are playing, there's no disgrace in that, is there?
Yeah, I think it's certainly been coming. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone, in particular the Southampton fans. I think that in terms of the results, like Stephen said, you look at some of the performances, even yesterday against Newcastle, watching the game, Newcastle went 1-0 up, but then Southampton had opportunities to equalise. Newcastle then went 2-0, 3-0, and it was sort of game over then. And I think that's sometimes what you will get with a young side, the inconsistencies. But I think looking at Southampton as a whole, it was like Ralph Hasenhuttl, who didn't really know his best 11, his best system. He was sort of chopping and changing, and I think fans were looking at it thinking, you know, what is he going to do today, and tactically what is he going to do, and at times maybe got that wrong, and maybe that's why inevitably, you know, he's lost his job. But like I say, watching the game yesterday, you thought, well, they've got opportunities, but that's happened in a lot of games that I've watched with Southampton. They've had those chances to score, to equalise, to get themselves back in the game,